to our worm channel. Welcome back to our worm farming channel.
Okay, so this is gonna be like worm farming part 3. We bought Natalie's Hey, It's a Good Life worm farming course. And we're working our way through it. We're currently on module 3. And we are going to prep a new worm bucket. A big worm bucket. So, stuff we're gonna fill it up with. So we're watching her modules in module 3, and basically she does it in layers. So she started with
paper.
I should really look this back up again. She laid something down on the bottom, right?
Check the holes.
Yeah. Are we drilling holes in it?
No.
Okay. She didn't say you had to drill holes. She just said it was like a what'd she call it?
Keep it from getting too wet.
Well, yeah, but it was like a saving grace kind of situation. Like, you don't have to have holes in them. She did say if you were going to do holes, to do 8-inch holes. So she basically put something like a layer of something on the bottom of the bucket, wetted it, like watered it.
Yeah.
And then added
browns,
which would be
leaves. So
like your mulch, your leaves, stuff you would find in nature, I guess. And then like a layer of compost.
Yes, compost and vermiculite.
Or perlite.
Whatever.
I think she said both, either perlite or vermiculite. I don't have vermiculite, I have perlite, so that's what we're going to add, which she calls the grit. So we're going to add that.
Or sand.
Huh?
Or sand.
Or sand. And then she added greens, so like clippings from her garden or whatever. And I'm just going to do, I think I might pull out my broccoli plant and then just do that for our greens since I have a lot of it.
And then leaves and then green, or compost and then greens and then browns.
Yes. Every layer that she put down, she watered to get it moist. I mean, you don't want it like sopping wet, but she said like 70%, which is like a moist sponge. To where if you squeeze it, you're not getting a bunch of water out, but it is moist. When you feed them, you can put your scraps in there, like your table scraps, but then you want to push your table scraps down into like the top layer.
Yeah.
And then add mulch on top of that, right?
Yeah, gotta cover them up.
You need to learn to.
Yeah.
You're very like. Come on, dog. People like you.
I'm tired.
Where did we get this bucket? We caught this bucket from your dad, right?
Yes.
So
feed bucket.
thank you, Don Brandon, for this feed bucket. We can continue our worm farming adventure.
Yes.
You ready?
Sure.
Yes, Mom.
But you do it your way.
Yeah, ready.
I'm ready my way.
I'm ready
The busy way.
I gotta pull it back up.
Yeah.
I want to pull it back up to make sure I had everything in order that she put it in, because our first 2 buckets, we just kind of winged it.
And the worms are doing fine.
He says they're doing fine, but are they doing fine? I don't know, because we already had one try to escape and then it shriveled up and died. But we want our worms to be happy. And how do we know if they're happy? I guess when they don't try to escape.
You can talk to them.
I told Brad we need worm nerd shirts, because that's what she keeps calling everybody. He's a worm nerd. So instead of mama, it's going to say worm nerd. Are you a worm nerd?
No.
Okay, let's go get the bucket. Ready?
Ready, break.
Okay. We're going to go get all of our supplies. Even though it's 90 million degrees out.
Okay, there's an empty bucket.
What's step 1?
So step 1, move, child. So step 1, bucket. This is the bucket we're going to use. So graciously gifted to us by my father-in-law. How big do you think this one is? Riley,
What?
how big do you think this bucket is? Like 20 gallon?
Yeah, 25 gallons.
Okay.
We won't direct that.
Whoa, hang on. All right.
I'm really doing it.
First layer, we're going to add a layer of cardboard. I'm going to peel most of these stickers off though because they have adhesive, which is chemical, which is apparently not great for your worms. I'm going to add, it's sitting very snug.
Mom, I'm really doing it.
So our first layer
It's cardboard.
is cardboard. Wet it. Now what?
Browns.
Browns include leaves and stuff.
Leaves and cardboard.
Okay, so since we already have cardboard, let's go collect some leaves. Browns include
carbon, browns, wood chips, newspaper, cardboard, mixed paper, dried wheat straw, dry sawdust, dried cornstalk, and dried leaves.
Okay, we're gonna go over here to the fire pit.
Well,
See if we can't collect some leaves. Hayes and Brad are collecting the hay from the hay field.
why can I not,
Just
Mom?
leftovers.
Mom, I want to.
Okay, we've got our buckets. We've got 2 buckets full of dried hay and 1 bucket full of dry leaves. So that's going to count for our browns. Okay, so because some of my plants are not doing so great right now, I'm going to go ahead and pull those and sacrifice them for our worm bucket. So my tomato plants look terrible. And I have some tomato plants that aren't producing at all. So I'm going to pull that.
No. Hold
That is good.
Okay.
It got on my
Browns.
knees.
You can add some of that.
Yeah, and some of your leaves.
Alright. So we're going to add some hay and some leaves.
only reason mine put a little bit of leaves in. Yeah. One of these.
Okay.
Probably good.
Yeah. Now wet it down.
Okay. Wetting it down. She said you didn't want it too moist. That's pretty moist.
Compost.
Okay, our compost.
Which is number 2.
Far away. Don't do that. Worm farming with kids.
This is 2 to 6 inches of compost.
All the way around.
Little.
Okay.
This.
Oh.
No, leave it.
Okay.
Now, food scraps.
Food scraps? That's what it
There's
says.
2 layers of food scraps.
Okay. Food scraps. You might guess.
But all these, I don't know if I put
Number 1.
oranges or lemons in there.
Number
Probably
1.
not.
No, we'll put that in the other one.
Yeah.
But chunky monkey bell pepper.
Okay.
No. That's disgusting. Yeah.
Something about it.
Disgusting.
Water.
That is an eggplant.
Okay. I think that's enough table scraps. We ain't putting that many worms in there. Yeah, we'll put those in the next layer.
Okay. Ew.
Okay.
Okay. Now what?
Now browns.
Browns. So back to the.
Yeah, but we'll just put this.
Number
You want to put your leaves on top.
2.
Okay. So just the hay.
Just, yeah, a little bit.
That Hazel's hay.
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
And then
Okay, now do a bucket of compost.
Wait, we didn't wet it.
Oh. Okay, with the hay.
why can I not
Hay's
do
with the
it?
hay.
Put the compost in there.
Look at the compost. Okay.
Orange. Potato. Little potato. Cucumber. Potato. Cucumber. Eggplant.
Grit's behind you.
Mama,
All right, we're gonna add some perlite to it. Okay,
I don't know what it's gonna look like.
we're gonna add some perlite for some grit.
Whoa, that's what it looks like.
Okay. Okay, we've got grit.
Do the water. After Mom's finished putting that stuff in.
This stuff is gross.
And then yeah. That bell pepper is disgusting.
It's all disgusting.
That's the grossest thing ever. Yeah. Look how gross that is.
Good job.
I still have some cardboard left over too.
Yeah.
We've got our bucket almost prepped. We prepped it way better than we did the first bucket. So we're learning a lot already from this course. She ran a sale and that's why we decided to buy it. Otherwise, I don't know. It was like $147, something like that. She ran it on sale for $99. So we felt like it was worth it. So now we're gonna carry the big bucket up to the house and dig out some worms. You ready to dig out worms?
Yeah.
Are you gonna dig them out?
I'm gonna dig out like 10 of them.
Are you gonna
I'm
count
gonna
them?
dig out. Yeah. I'm gonna dig out 4.
4.
Yeah. I'm gonna dig out 10. I'm gonna dig out
You gotta back up.
100.
Don't take his head up.
I'm gonna do one and pull out 100.
Okay. So, like I said, now we're gonna take the big bucket up to the house, go dig out some worms, and add them to our prepped bucket.
Don't want to be the camera. Big that one, Mom. 20. Well, I got a baby one, Dad. Dad. I told him he did not do this.
Okay, so we have our bucket prepped. We're trying to figure out where to put it, where the best spot to put it is. I'm a little worried about them crawling out. She said 3 days it takes them to get used to their new home, to acclimate, before they're like crawling out all the time, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah. Maybe we should put it underneath the light for 3 days. Get them used to the bucket.
So basically, it's going to sit in my entryway.
That's the worms hallway.
I don't know if I like worms in my entryway. It's the first thing people see. Is that a worm or a bug or a stick?
Stick.
So we topped it with shredded cardboard, crushed up dried leaves, straw,
Coconut core.
and then we gave it another little spritz to moisten it. He's worried about it not being wet enough, but we wetted. That's a weird word.
Moistened.
That's even weirder. We moistened every layer as we put it in. So I think that there's enough water. I don't know.
The worms will tell you.
It's hard to say because you don't want it like sopping. She said 70% wet, like a wet sponge.
It's your moisture meter.
I don't have a moisture meter.
But Amazon could have you one here tomorrow.
Anyway.
I haven't seen any crawling up yet.
Since we put the top layer on, though. Hopefully, with layering like the compost and layering the food scraps, instead of just going straight to the surface like we had in our old bucket, we already have an old bucket. Now we have a new bucket. Now it's like down below and up top. So it's like layered, multi-layered.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Is that your PJ?
Okay, so we're gonna call it a night. Find a spot for this big old bucket. Thanks for hanging out with us. We hope you enjoyed worm farming part 3.
Yes.
101 beginners.
101 was our first video. This is like
No.
103. Now we're experts.
No, nowhere near expert. All of a month and a half we've been doing it.
Hey, we'll go and kill like 1.
2. There's another one dead.
Okay, so we've killed 2 worms.
He crawled out and dried.
That's their own fault for crawling out. They shouldn't crawl out. They should stay in the bucket.
Yes.
But we turn the light off whenever it's daytime, so they crawl out.
I still don't see any crawling up though.
You're in shock.
3 days to acclimate.
If they still eat all those in one more,
You know how it's going to take them to eat all that?
like a year.
But that's what makes good compost. All these layers and different things and the microorganisms.
Yeah. Let's get them going.
We're gonna get really good compost after this.
Whenever we
This will all go back into the garden and we'll just keep going, rolling it over.
This one's going in the garden.
I'm a hero.
Go ahead.
Look at me.
You're a jailbird.
Where are they, Mom?
They're in there.
Somewhere. Down at the bottom.
Well, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. We'll see you next time.